Okay, it looks like we are live again. Hello, welcome back. We're gonna do another CC playthrough here. Uh, this one is Columbia Wetlands by Trailducker. If I can find it. Is there a space in there weird? Did I miss something? Oh, okay, the entry form has CC on it, and that's not in the in-game course. Okay. I think this one does manipulated teas as well. Yes, it looks like it. I'll just let's see if does he have a preference. I assume please use the black teas for judging the design elements. Okay. Oh, I forgot to look at the design elements for Chrissy's. I'm sorry. Yes, obsolete. I'm sure you can do that. I don't know how to though. So I always just find it easier to just upload full videos and just cut the stream. Well, and I suppose like if you're watching the playbacks on VOD, um, uh, like that way they're individual videos on Twitch too. You don't have to go like scroll in and find them. Okay, so I took a little bit of a sneak peek at this one just because um I had caught a couple glimpses of the uh uh I think threads or pictures of it or whatever, and it looked like it was going to be damn, what's the term I was looking, controversial. Um so this isn't my first peek at this one. I kind of snuck one in. And like, well, I can kind of see what Tyson was going for here. I don't feel like he's like I don't mind the big square bunker, even though like I can't say I like the look. It's not like I don't hate it. Um, but I just found that like the square island's weird for me, and God, that island par three, I think I'm gonna hate that one. Um. Anyway, oh God, that was a bad shot. Oh, can I start over? Yeah, it's fine. Like it just the whole thing with like hazards running down the side and like angles and things that were attempted on this course. I just I haven't found any of them in the couple holes I played where I felt like the actual strategy of the hole makes sense. And it's just like I get that you wanted to do like this weird combo of like Pete Dye and Seth Rayner, but if I'm being totally honest, I'm not sure you've really hit either of those notes, let alone both of them. So again, like I like the vibe of the course, like for the most part, like the planting is done well. Um, and like the idea itself isn't bad. I just think it misses the mark on execution. Like it's the I don't know. Like all of the greens are like I'm sure there's some strategy in it somewhere. I can't find it looking at it. I found like all of the playing corridors are so wide that you really like I don't especially like there's no point to this bunker here where this one this will never come into play for any shot. It's just it doesn't need to be there and it doesn't make sense. It's there as a visual flourish and I don't even really think it makes sense for that. Yes, what Ben said. And it's just like the again, it's so flat and like so far all the contours are also geometric, which again doesn't really make sense. Again, this is another example of I don't know. It's just like the yes, this green is surrounded by bunkers, but it's the I don't know. It doesn't make any real strategic sense. It's just oh, if you hit it too far, you're in the bunker. It doesn't it doesn't really no, or you just miss it there. But it's I don't know. It's not really a punishment. It's not really again. It just I don't feel like again this like neither the green complex or the bunker placement or like there's not a lot on this hole that really like it's a functional hole, it's fine, it's just like there's no strategic element to it that makes sense to me. All right, we have a big ass centerline bunker. Well, of course I'm into the wind, so I can't make that carry anyways. Forced layup to this big giant island short. That was just a terrible shot, but it's fine. Yeah, this is gonna be like a 3-shot hole now. Yeah, and again, it's another green where it's just like it's flat and there's yes, there's a bunker next to it, but it doesn't matter which of these like there's a centerline hazard here and there's zero difference to either side of the fairway. Like angles don't matter into this shot because like even though it fronts a bunker, like the bunker's there in the spot that matters the least. You have to miss like right and long. And it's but other than that, there's just absolutely nothing around this green. There's nothing that would even like you don't have to ever think about going for this green. Like I hit a terrible shot and I'm ripping 3-wood into this green and it's still like a trivial shot. I see somebody banned somebody. Was that a bot that I missed? Yeah, what Ben said, 100%. And like, I think Chrissy had a little bit of that problem, just in terms of like width is good, but just nonstop endless width where you never have to sniff the hazards doesn't really add anything. Hi, Reeb. Yeah, okay, thank you, Maddie. Yeah, and this is oh God, why are you blinding me? This God, like the lighting is so in your face that you literally can't see any of the golf hole. Also, we have another island green par 3. Like, I'm not offended by the idea of an island green, but also this one, it just kind of exists. Like, I don't know. I look at this hole and go, yeah, okay, I just, there's like, okay, you're gonna put a pin there, you're gonna put a pin there, and then you're gonna put a pin left on the top slope and right on the top slope, or, the other way around. Like I mean I guess it's sawgrass length. I guess it's about as strategic as sawgrass is. It just yeah, it just feels odd. I don't know. I'm partially distracted by just the absolute blinding light that you're asking me to hit into. Like I'm all for dramatic lighting, but I think I had a problem with another course that did this in the CC contest of like dramatic lighting is fine. But if I can't see any of the playing surfaces on the hole I'm playing, then you've gone too far. Yeah, here's another one where again, this giant ass bunker is never ever going to come into play. Because again, either like I'm either playing over here where there's so much width that I'm never gonna sniff hitting it in there, or it's punishing you for hitting it too far. Which again, if you're playing the 295 driver, you're just aiming dead at the green, and the only thing that's gonna come into play is that fronting bunker. Like this back bunker that outlines your fairway is enormous and pointless. And funny when this is your Oh, sorry. Let's see, did I miss something from Chrissy? Oh, and again, Chrissy, like, sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah, there's definitely several holes where you nailed the concept of width. Like, I think there's that long par four that I was talking about where I loved the way you set it up, but it was like the green was almost so forgiving that it took away from that just a little bit. So you nailed the concept of like playable width. It was just like the execution was just a little off, and turned it from like a 10 out of 10 strategy into like a 8 out of 10. This one is like a 3 out of 10. Again, like if basically everyone can carry that corner, and so then angles don't come into play. But even then, if you're into a headwind, there's like you've made a cape pole around a hazard, and you've somehow completely taken that hazard out of play. Like the whole point of like a cape hole is that it should play diagonally to you, and it's a question of how much do you chew off. When it plays at a 90-degree angle, it's literally just a yes no proposition of can I make this carry or can I not. So there's really no choice. Also, yeah, it's just this centerline bunker is just a big no. Or not bunker, pond. Just no. Why? Like at the very least, this is a split fairway where the angles matter, but I don't know. Okay, like it's a really minor thing, but I just don't get it. Like we've gone hard into the geometric style, like the first several holes, including in places where I don't feel like it makes sense. And now we've finally decided to round something off, and it's absolutely in a place where it doesn't make sense. Like, why are you doing a squared off bunker and then a rounded off green? It just like it's completely a minor detail that does not affect the way the course plays at all, but it's just kind of like if you like even the island like that the trees are planted on is square, like things that don't make any sense that need to be geometric are geometric, and you've finally done something that's not geometric, and it looks wrong. Yeah, 100%. Like I love I should say I'm not the biggest fan of the Rainer style, but I really like it when it's done right. Like there's like Ben Sapelo River, while not really being like a true Rainer course, just nails it. Is this yes, this is the Harry Potter bunker with the big lightning bolt. Yeah, and again, this is another one. It's so wide that it's like, oh sure, here's like a like and it's another yes no proposition. You're either cutting this corner or you're not. But also it's so wide on both sides and the green's so open that none of that like again, there's no angles involved because it's a 90-degree angle and it's you're either playing to the right fairway or the left fairway. But none of that matters in any way shape or form because the hole's trivial to play anyways. Morning Eastwood. Welcome to the stream. I don't. Oh, yes, I did. That was interesting. Um, hey, Sparty, how's it going? I don't know. I just find that I don't know, we're 7 holes in, and I just like I haven't seen any tee shot strategy that really makes sense. Um, every hole is lined with bunkers, and like I think maybe one of them has come into play off the tee shot or makes sense. again, this is another one where it's like we're talking about like going with that geometric idea even when it just doesn't make sense. I don't feel like this is a green that makes sense. Like it's we didn't need to make a Tetris block, and I think like again, it's Pete Dye would never make a Tetris block green, and Seth Rayner would never make a Tetris block green because it's again when everything's at a 90-degree angle, like line doesn't matter as much. Like again, the whole point of like angles is having things playing diagonally is that like distance and line are intertwined, and you have to think about both of those with precision. Um, when everything's at a 90-degree angle, everything is just a yes/no proposition. So you've essentially just built two tiny greens that happen to touch each other, and it's just, it's just two flat square greens. You have more centerline water, multiple centerline water. Right. And again, but it's so wide on either side that it makes no difference. And there's not really any substantial difference to the angle that you're playing in anyway. Yes, I am judging also, but I'm just one judge on the panel. I'm not like I don't have any extra vote or anything like that. It's just I'm specifically judging because we need as many bodies as we can to make the group thing work. Like, I'm sorry, Dakara, that I'm struggling to find a lot of positive things to say about this. It's just like there we go. I'm just being hit over the head with a lot of the stylistic decisions on this course. I just haven't really found any of them that I think work yet. It's very but the environment is good. Like I like the atmosphere. Yep, no worries, man. All right. Yeah, there again, we have another like split fairway thing where oh, I forgot. I haven't even checked the required elements he had listed that I should do. At least 5 par 5s. Okay, that one. 2 holes with centerline hazards, 9 and 18. Oh god, so the water is the centerline hazard for your design element. Oh god. Yes, sorry, what Maddie said. The technical stuff is done pretty well. Like some of the bunkers get a little away from you, but you're also building 30 square acre bunkers, so I think there's a little planting missed there, but not really an issue. So yeah, it's like the bunkers are overall done pretty well. Like, they're a little wavy in spots, but again, you're trying to build perfectly flat, like 30-acre bunkers. So, and, okay, and then drivable 4. No, back-to-back 3s. I don't know why that one. It's yeah that one tree trunk over your shot looks odd. Okay, at least this bunker makes sense. Like the angle on it makes sense. So okay, like see, here we go. Like if you're gonna have a bunker lining a fairway, like this is the way to do it. It's on the line that you want to play on, and you choose to play away from it, or you play an aggressive shot and flirt with the bunker. It's like okay, like that's how you do it. Granted, I can't reach it anyway, so it doesn't matter, and I'll just play away from it. But like, at least that bunker comes into some strategic, it plays in some strategic way. And again, at least this green, like, it's a geometric green where the contours are not like hand-fisted geometric shapes. Like the contours are just the contours. again, like it would be on a Rainer course, where he's not really going to use any. Okay, now we're back to the geometric contours. Although I think with some like double plateau holes, I think Rainer used like some straight up geometric. All right, and again, at least this isn't an angle, so this bunker comes into play. But now you've built like this long par three where I can't hold any of these pins. So it's like the only play is to just bail left and just like try to make a long putter chip. You have all of these tiny tiers that nobody can hit, especially on a CC course. So yeah, there's essentially like the only pin that you could conceivably like hit the ball at is like a left side one. So it's kind of like, you know, the angles make sense on this one, except that it like, but now the hole doesn't really play well like regardless of the angles. Yeah, what Maddie said is that you gotta, in order to make like a penal green like that work, you have to be throwing a club into it that you can stop. That's yeah, again, and we have so yeah, here's another like again, every single hole has these giant bunkers running down them and none of them make sense. Like in this case, you already have a hazard there. It's water. Like your conservative golfer is going to want to play away from that. So if anything, this bunker is just undermining the fact that water is there. Um yeah, exactly, Alan. I think that whole that hole would work great with yeah, like if you're hitting a wedge or like even up to like an 8-iron, I think works great. So yeah, you're really just like the bunker is almost there. It's not as a hazard. It's just as a safety gap to your actual hazard. Yeah, again, what Ben and Reeb said, like I've definitely put bunkers between my playing surfaces and water. Like there's reasons to do that. Like again, if you know, like if you have like a cape hole with a forced carry, there's a little bit of like again you can have it there as like a safety hazard, or like a safety net where it's like okay, if you're not gonna make the playing surface, like I'm gonna penalize you for not doing it, but I'm not gonna plunk you in the water. But I just again there are times for that. I just don't think that's one of them. Yeah, exactly. Um. I mean, this does come into play, but it just the question is why. Like again, there's so much width and there's no angle, so there's no reason I would ever play at that bunker. It's just like okay, it cuts across the fairway. I don't know for visual sake, and then you have a centerline hazard here that will never ever come into play because even with like short clubs, I'm just flipping a wedge into this green. Like at least I like the contours on this green. Like I guess it's kind of got like a double plateau thing. I mean, it's got a little bit of like that Georgia O'Keeffe painting look to the contours, but I mean, I like the you know it like it has tiers that are interesting, which I haven't really found so far in any of the other greens. Yeah, and again, it's the I don't see any. Well, if I can make yeah with a fast, I'll make that carry. But so there's no reason like that bunker's really not going to come into play unless like you're into a strong headwind, in which case you're not going to make it in two anyway. So it's like that bunker has no strategic interest. And again, we have another one that you know we're maintaining hundreds of acres of bunkers that will just like the player will never see and will never even sniff playing toward. I think like you've went with like the low wetlands look, which again, like like for a die course or something, like that makes perfect sense. But um the thing is when you have absolutely no elevation change on your course, then angles and finding the playing interest elsewhere really matters. And this course really struggles with that. Yeah, and that's been my note too of like really committing to the whole geometric look. I don't know, like this one. It's like this just isn't a look that makes sense to me. Like I don't mind it. It's whatever. Like it's not my favorite thing personally, but it's just the like okay, if you're going to commit to everything needs to be very strongly geometric. It's like the only times I've seen him falter on that and round off edges of stuff is when it doesn't make sense to do so. Let's see. Okay, at least this green has some like interesting contours to it. All right, to me the shape looks weird, but at least if like okay, like I like the way this green plays. So credit where credit is due in that, you have a green surrounded by hazards and lots of contours, which is exactly what you'd want in a otherwise pretty easy hole that you're hitting wedge into. So it's like there's some playing interest in the green here. And you can, there's some pins you can really pop on hazards and oh god, we're gonna have to do that island par 3, aren't we? That was just bad putting. Hey Charlie, how's it going? Yes, yes we do. Oh, oh. I'm sorry, this one just hurts me personally. Just, it hurts me. I mean, like, this is a green that you could have used on some other ones. Oh, yeah, god, yeah. Oh, I mean, not that it matters, but yeah, the routing issues on this would be nuts. Also, god, the retaining wall with all of those tee boxes is odd. But it's just, yeah. This didn't need to exist. Oh, this is one of the required elements he wants me to judge too. Oh god, that's a terrible bunker shot. I mean, the hole's playable. It just, I don't know. It's something. Yes, the bunker plays fine. The square island is a lot though, and the just yeah, that green is different. Yeah, and then yeah, I think here's another. We had this issue elsewhere on the course where you've finally given me like angle. Well, I guess there's not really angles. It's just forced carry. But like the bunkers are finally in play and play as a hazard, and it means that I can't like you basically can't hold this green. I might into the wind with like it might hold it up, but like yeah, what Charlie said. It's just the whole concept just does not work for me. Like it's executed okay. It just the concept as a whole is just different. Yeah, I think I'd have to go but oh god, we end on a centerline water hazard too. I just and both of the your centerline hazards you want judged are pawns, which is maybe not ideal. Yeah, and I'd like to echo what Reeb said. Like at least the one thing that like this course does not struggle in being bold and trying something different. Like, do I think it whiffs in a lot of spots? Yes. But again, you did not like you didn't play it safe, and I applaud that. Charlie, I think there's like at least two other holes that had centerline water hazards on them. I think there's at least four that I remember. Oh yeah, and I think like to echo Reeb, it's like the like all of the holes on this course are very different and kind of odd, but some of them I thought worked. It's just a lot more of them didn't for me. So but it was like the style itself wasn't really the problem. It was just like it wasn't executed in a way um that I felt made it play well, if that makes sense. So again, it was like, you know, like the biggest problems were like the bunkers are very in your face visually, and they're massive, and they very rarely make any kind of strategic sense. But it's, it's again, the lighting is a little harsh in spots. So it's like if you're gonna go lighting that harsh, like for that really dramatic look, don't play directly into it. You can kind of play into it at an angle, but like you don't want to make it so that the player can't see the golf hole that they're playing. It's usually, when you have control over the lighting, that's not a great idea. Um but yeah, I get like the idea of going, hey, I want to combine like Pete Dye and Seth Rayner ideas is definitely like a solid idea. It just kind of fell apart in the execution is all. Like I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong with the concept of, hey, I'm gonna combine Dye and Rayner. And like the setting really works for that. It just the holes themselves are a little rough in spots. So anyway, hopefully that was um educational or useful, whatever feedback. But thank you for the course. And we will cut the episode here, and we will kick off a new one. Actually, Eastwood, are you still here? I can do yours next if you want. I think you're close to being next on the list anyway. But I don't mind hopping around if it means people can tune in live for their playthroughs. Yep. All right. Sounds good. I will. We'll do that one next then. Anyway, I will cut it here, and we will see y'all in chat in a sec. For those of you watching on playback, we will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.